I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, here we are. Welcome to episode 109 of WhysAdvice. Had an amazing day in the download department today. It's just, we continue to climb, and it's because you continue to share. We will hit 200,000 downloads for the month of August alone. Last night was 10,140 or so, something like that per day. It's just absolutely crazy that 10,000 people a day are tuned in and listening and really focused on their goals. That's the amazing piece, and we're focused all together. So we're going to come up to 1 million downloads real soon, and let me tell you, when we get there, there will be a party. First up, I want to celebrate my dad. My dad, I talk about all the time, be the prize, and I want people to want to be on this journey. And so when I hit goal in lifetime, and, this isn't my first rodeo. I've tried this for a while, and it just, I didn't have a lot of great success until I finally figured it out and I got it. Well, my parents have been watching, and they both decided that it looked like so much fun, that I looked so healthy, that they wanted to do it as well. Mom often joins in on Facebook, but today in the meeting room, Dad got a 25-pound charm. Dad, I love you, man. You're doing phenomenal work, and the coolest thing about this is that as you continue to work this journey, we continues to add years to our lives, and so we can spend much more of them together. And so I'm super proud of you, Dad. Super proud of you, Mom. Keep up the great work. And more importantly, it was kind of fun for a brief moment to see you today through FaceTime, and to see that you're bringing a lot of people to the meeting room as well, because you're making this journey look fun as well. And really, when you finally embrace this, and when you finally say, I've had enough and I'm ready to make a change, the journey does become fun at that point. So thank you for Mom and Dad for that, and thank you for changing your life. Thank you for giving me my life and giving me a little bit of discipline throughout my life so that I figured out this journey long before now. I also want to share with you another cool thing. As you know, I lead 2 meetings in Indianapolis, and they're on my website, FatDag.com. Click on events. You'll see when and where I lead meetings. And so Lennie, who was in episode 102, he reached out to me and said, hey, FatDag, I got to come to Ohio for a business trip. And what do you think if I fly into Indianapolis, come to your meeting, and then I drive over to Ohio? And I thought the guy was crazy when he said it. And so I was like, yeah, whatever. I kind of, I respected it, but I'm like, who would do that? Well, sure enough, Lennie texts me that day and says, hey, I just landed in Indianapolis. I'm up in the area where your meeting is. Now, the meeting's at 6 o'clock. He got there at like 2, and he's driving around the area. And so anyway, we met at the meeting, and he got there a little early. We got a quick chance to catch up and chat. And this is the cool part. So we're in the middle of the meeting. There's probably, 30-some people in the meeting room, something like that. And we're sitting there talking, and I introduce him as a crazy guy who flies into Indianapolis for business so he could go to Ohio. So he had like a 2-hour drive ahead of him because he chose to flying into Indy. And so we're sitting in the meeting, and I said, Lennie, I think we should go out for dinner tonight and just kind of catch up and hang out. And I didn't really mean it like this, but I said, but how many points do you have left? And he, without hesitation, said, I have 8. And I have 18 weeklies, so we can go wherever you want. And I thought that was so impressive that on the spot, when I asked him, how many points do you have left? He immediately answered he had 8 points left. And I said, well, then we're going to go have dinner at my favorite burger joint. So we go to a place called Bub's Burgers. It's downtown Carmel. It's kind of a historic place and really fun and neat. So we're sitting there, and we're sitting outside of the table, and people are running by. There's a trail that runs through there. And they're having a blast. And we are just talking about Weight Watchers, and we're just catching up, and we're sharing each other's journey. the waiter comes over, and I told Lennie, I said, hey, the burger here is delicious. I track it as 14 points. I tried doing the math when I first started having it, and I don't know truly how many points it is, but I kind of guessed that it was 14 points, and I track it as 14 points, and I've been tracking it as 14 points for about a year and a half, and I have one at least once a week. So he said, okay, I'll have a burger as well. So he orders, and he goes, I'll have a hamburger, lettuce and pickle and tomato and an unsweet tea. And then so I order, the waiter looks at me and he goes, what do you want? I said, well, I'll have the cheeseburger with American cheese and a water. And Lennie looks at me and he goes, wait, it's 14 points with the cheese? And I said, yes, I counted as 14 points with the cheese. So he looks at the waiter and he goes, put cheese on mine too. So he orders it with cheese. We have an amazing dinner. We sit there, we eat these burgers, two guys sitting outside on the patio. The place is packed. And we don't care, right? We're talking about Weight Watchers the entire time and just, saying, how do you do this? And how do you do this? And I remember this and all that stuff, all the typical Weight Watcher conversation. So the waiter comes over and he brings the bill. We've been there all night. The waiter finally brings the bill and he hands it to us. Just as he's handing it to us, he says, so guys, did either of you save enough points for ice cream? And I said, yeah. Yeah, we did. Or no, we didn't actually. I said, no, we didn't save enough points for ice cream. But the cool thing about this, the reason I wanted to share it, I put it on Connect, I put it on Facebook. I wanted to make sure the rest of the audience heard it. Two guys sitting there having dinner, talking about Weight Watchers, enough so that the waiter picked up on it. And the waiter said, did you have enough points for ice cream? But both of us were out of points, so we stopped eating points. So just a fun little anecdotal story just to let you know that this plan works no matter what. A guy travels from out of town, two guys never met, they go to dinner, they both stay on plan. It's doable. It's doable if you want to get it done. Kelly out of Kokomo, Indiana writes in, says, hi, not so FatDag. I'm finally putting together my thoughts on paper, so here we go. I have been on this journey 4 times before, but this will be my last time. Future team lifetime, hashtag. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 35 years old and I have been overweight all of my adult life. I have been physically strong, but never what you would call a normal BMI. I have struggled with self-esteem issues since I can remember, thanks to a mentally and emotionally abusive father. But with his passing this last December, I have been able to close that horrible chapter in my life. He would always find a way to make me hate myself, from the way I wore my hair to the way that I dressed. It did not matter what I did. It wasn't good enough. I stopped talking to him my senior year in high school back in 1999, but his words were always in the back of my mind, no matter what weight I was at. Right after that, I met my love of my life, my husband now. We've been married for 15 years. He loved me for who I was. The funny and broken person. He loved me when I was 260 pounds and when I was 164 pounds. It never changed. He helped me to learn to love myself again, to believe in myself. I know that my husband is my biggest supporter, and he continues to help me push every day. My leader, Terry, is amazing, and I have found great friends at my local meeting on Saturday morning. As I am writing this, I weighed in this morning and I am down 40.6 pounds. I started January 4th, 2017 at 215.8 pounds. I am simply amazed at myself. I am working on training for my 3rd Warrior Dash in September. I decided this would be a good time to celebrate my victory. I look in the mirror and I love the person on the other side. I know that being at goal is a mindset. I still have another 25 pounds to lose, but I am physically healthier and stronger than I was 10 years ago. I just found out about your podcast about 2 weeks ago. I added them to my workouts. I have added them to my workouts. It helps to keep me motivated. Thank you for believing me, even when I don't feel like staying motivated. You are truly an inspiration. I am so glad I have you as a wingman. Thank you for your service to this amazing country. So, Kelly, amazing story. And where I noticed in the middle of your journey is at some point you figured out what was the most important part of your life, and that was you. When we figure that piece out, a lot of everything else kind of really falls into place. It doesn't matter what anyone else says or thinks, and I know we really get that in our mind, and that really controls us. And there's absolutely well-documented reasons why that happens. But life is so full of challenges. No matter where you go, there's going to be somebody out there that's willing to pull you down so that they can get ahead, or that they can find some sort of way to control you in your mind, and it's so hard to get past that. In order to win, we've got to find people that can help support us. We've got to find the support of a network of folks who understand us, who love us. No matter what goes on, we say, you know what? I am the most important thing in my life, and we got to find a group of people who agree with that. Kelly, you're clearly winning this battle. You have amazing support. You have an amazing husband who is your biggest supporter, and that, more than anything, daily reminds you that you're worth it, as you know you're worth it. You're on Connect. You have an amazing leader. You have an amazing meeting. You've tuned into the podcast. You have surrounded yourself with so much positivity that you can do anything that you want to. Absolutely anything that you want. So keep working the plan. 40.6 pounds is amazing work. The reason you're down 40.6 pounds is because you finally got to the point where you said, everything that else is going on in my life, I take control of my happiness, and I am making it happen. Kelly, great job. Keep up the great work, and let's get you to goal. Heidi writes in and says, "Hi, FatDag. Well, hello again. I am emailing you with another celebration. I first emailed to share with you the excitement over shedding 30% of my starting weight, again at 65 pounds, and finally I sent you my why, and it's because I'm worth it. Now I get to celebrate 70 pounds gone. Of my entire journey, I am the most proud of this 5-pound increment. During this 5 pounds, I have been more focused than ever. I've had to dig deep when I encountered some turbulent times. I was forced to confront some painful memories from my childhood. Memories that I thought I dealt with and processed. Not only am I proud of the way that I've grown, learning and trusting in my own strength through my 3.5-year journey, I am proud to say that I maintain control of my eating. I rocked the plan, earning 6 blue dots per week, 5 weeks in a row. I used my treadmill as a place to vent my frustration and earned record numbers of fit points. In summary, I have developed far better coping mechanisms than eating my feelings, fears, and anxieties. With 70 pounds gone, I'm seeing numbers on the scale I have never seen as an adult. I'm wearing clothing sizes that I've never worn. And as I approach my 40th birthday in the fall, I look and I feel the best I ever have. I'm taken to calling myself 40 and fabulous, just trying on that title for size for just a few more months. I am so thankful for your podcast, a daily, well, except when it isn't, bump to my motivation and the feeling that I can do this. I am so grateful for your support and encouragement. I have 14 pounds to go, and I absolutely know that I can get there. It's just a matter of focus and determination. Warm regards, Heidi. Heidi, 70 pounds. Amazing. You're in clothing sizes you've never seen. You're getting numbers on a scale you've never seen. The last 14 pounds of this journey, I promise you, the last 14 pounds of this journey will be the most amazing part of this journey by far. It absolutely is. Because once you get to the point where every day is a new number, you're in a point where you don't know what is truly possible. So for a long time, we get hung up on, you're to a place you never thought you could get. And now as you push past that and past that and past that, every day is an amazing new surprise. What's absolutely key is the fact that you have the feeling and the mindset to say that you have maintained control over your eating. That's what this journey is all about. There is no food that's off limits. You can have whatever you want, and what you want is goal, and you are able to maintain your dependency on the food, and you can have whatever you want. And what you want is to maintain that control, rocking the plan, 6 blue dots a week for 5 weeks in a row. That's incredible focus. You cannot do that without being deliberately focused and mindful of everything that you're doing. Again, you found the support network that you needed. And that's what this community is all about. It's finding the support network. And as you know, this show, I want to be that support network for you. I want to continue to help build that support network. It's why I record the show every single day, except for the days that I just don't. But you are developing healthy habits. Those habits is what getting you to be able to cope better and then to not eat your feelings or your fears or your anxieties. As you continue to work on your healthy habits, eventually all of this goes away. You hit your 14 pounds from now, you get to goal, you start a whole new life as a person who no longer wants to lose weight. And that is what this entire journey is about. Heidi, I'm proud of you. I'm absolutely honored to walk this journey with you. It's time to dig in. It's time to get those last 14 pounds off. It's time to get to goal. Kristi writes in and says, Dear FatDag, I want to say thank you for your podcast. As an online-only member, I listen once a week and I pretend that you're my meeting leader. I definitely have been gaining insight into my own journey as you've shared your experiences. Since high school, I've been a yo-yo dieter. You know how it goes. Lose weight, gain it back, all plus some more, repeat. Yeah, I've done Weight Watchers many times over the years, and I've kept going back because when you work the plan works. This is probably my 8th attempt, but it's the first time that I found my why. Last January, I read an article that said having a BMI over 40 could take up to 14 years off of your life expectancy. Well, I started thinking about my mother, who passed away when I was 27 years old and I was 9 months pregnant. It's been almost 4 years and I still miss her every day. I wish that she could have met my amazing kids, or that we could have spent just a little more time together. I'd give almost anything for one more day with her, and yet I was letting my choices put 14 years worth of my own kids' lives at risk. Well, nuts to that, I am making changes every day to give our family the best chance that I can at a long life together. I've lost 55 pounds so far, and I am halfway to goal. We have a trip to Disney World coming up, and it's been hugely motivating for me. I'm a size 16 now, down from a 24, and I know I'll be much more comfortable on the plane and riding the rides. Each time I push myself to do more physical activity, I think of it as a training plan for walking 17,000 steps a day at Disney. And I promise myself I won't slow my kids down. But I'm also scared about how I'll fare eating at Disney. In the past, I have struggled with a mindset of wanting to only eat perfectly, and when that failed, binging. How will I track without my measuring cups and my food scale? The voice inside my head said there's no way I'll be able to track accurately. I'm working on taking control of my cravings and introducing them into the journey, but I haven't been confronted with so many temptations before. The old me dealt with food anxiety by thinking this isn't worth the stress and binging, but I cannot let myself do that on vacation. It always leads to me feeling sick and sluggish, which that would put a huge damper on our trip. I want to come home knowing that I did my best and feeling in control. I'm just not sure how to get there. I would really appreciate your words of wisdom and guidance. Thanks for taking the time to read this and for being a valuable resource to myself and many others on this journey. I'm glad to have a wingman. Kristi. Kristi, lots going on here, right? And so, first of all, I'm very honored to walk this journey with you. And I'm honored that as you try and figure out the rest of your life, that you turn to our team to try and figure it out. You have the answer. You put the answer to your own question right up at the very top, which means not only do you have the answer is solidly ingrained in your mind. And you said, the plan works if you work the plan. So that's what I want you to focus on. More than anything, I want you to focus on the fact that the plan works if you work the plan. Now, sure, this is your 8th attempt. So what that means is you know what happens if you have to start over. If you start over, if you quit, you get an all new start date. And that new start date, generally speaking, comes at a higher goal weight or starting weight. You start at a higher weight. You're not going to get there. You're absolutely not going to get there. So every single, just about most of us who've done this Weight Watcher plan, we've all had to restart, right? If you're listening right now, raise your hand if you've restarted at a higher weight, right? As you're driving down the street, raise your hand. You've started at a higher weight. Kristi, you know that's what's going to happen. So here's the beautiful part of this. You're halfway to goal. You are so far away from that even becoming a possibility because you know the plan works and you're focused and you're dialed in. I want you to go to Disney. I want you to have a great time while you're at Disney. There is no way that while you're at Disney, you can gain 55 pounds. It's just physically impossible. You cannot gain 55 pounds in a week. So don't worry about what you have going on there. What you have to do is you have to sit there and stay focused. Be mindful. Be deliberate in your choices, but experience it. Enjoy it. Do what you can to make sure that everybody in your family has an amazing time and your training that you've gone through. You don't lose 55 pounds by accident. What you do is you've been focused and you deliver, and you now have some ability to kind of guesstimate as to what's good and what's bad. What's fueling your dreams and what's not fueling your dreams. And you can do that without your measuring cups. You can do that without the scale. You can have a good understanding. And you know if you get into that binge mode, you're going to be sick and sluggish. So all I want you to do is I want you to go. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to do your best. Plan to come back on fire. And when you plan to come back on fire, the very first meeting you have, you need to hop in and hop into the meeting room, and you need to rock the plan because you know the plan works. That's where your focus is. Your focus before you go is to make sure that before I go, I know when the next meeting is on my way back, and my plan, regardless of what happens at Disney, is to get back into that meeting, get plugged into your support network, and get yourself to goal. You can do this. Amy writes in out of Richmond, Virginia, and says, Hi, Mike. I wanted to write to you for a while. Like most other writers, I wanted to wait until the right time. I thought when I hit 30 pounds lost, or maybe when I finally hit that coveted 10%, but I remember you saying, don't wait. So here I am. I listen to your podcast every day, every single day. I'm online only, and it's my personal Weight Watchers meeting. When I started this journey again, it was my 4th or 5th time. I honestly don't remember. I don't have a why other than I didn't want to be fat. I found you, and the one thing that sticks out is you're adamant about finding a why. One day, driving down the road, I got scared. I mean, adrenaline rush scared. I knew I found my why, or actually my why found me. Heart disease. That's my why. Just in a recent episode, you said that the American Heart Association says that only 15% of heart disease is genetics. I want to say that I'm in that 15%, but you know what? Who knows, honestly? I remember my mom is saying that her father had heart disease and by a doctor, and they thought his heart was infected. That was in the 70s. Speaking of my mama, oh, how I love that woman. She was amazing. She defeated 7 heart attacks, all in her 70s. She is the face of strength and beauty and heart disease. Sadly, I lost this incredible woman over 3 years ago. I still mourn her from time to time. My mother, who went when she was 55, had 2 heart catheterizations and had heart stents placed. This was a mere 2 years ago. Then it dawned on me. I am next. I do not want heart disease. I do not want to suffer like my mama did in her late years. I want to go out in a bear fight or something radical like that. I gave my grandparents CPR. To this day, it's one of the most traumatic events I have ever experienced. As an RN, I know that doctors want to pin obesity or being overweight on the reason why you have hypertension or heart disease. I do not want to be in that statistic. I'm only 34 and I'm in the early stages of hypertension. I'm avoiding the doctor because I'll be damned if I go on blood pressure medications. I will not. When or if I end up sitting on the table at the cardiologist, the last thing out of his mouth will be, "You need to lose weight." When I go to the boxing ring with heart disease, I want to know I did everything possible to train, so to speak. Ultimately, I want heart disease to forfeit. In the past 10 weeks, I lost every single week. The past 2, I actually gained. I wasn't tracking like a pro or indulging in the famous BLTs. I'm back, tracking strong. I know you're big into attendance goals and not performance goals. I have a mixture. For years, I've avoided family pictures with my gorgeous family. We haven't had them done since my son was 12 weeks old. He's 2.5 now. I booked family pictures for this fall. I don't have a goal weight or size, just to be better than I am now. I've hit my 5% and I'm getting close to 20 pounds lost. In less than 8 pounds, I will be Alice in Wonderland. Then on to being overweight. Only a Weight Watcher would be happy for that. Then to a healthy BMI. I will get there. When? Well, when my scale catches up to my mind. Thank you for the podcast. It helps me more than you realize. Thanks to your wife and your children for sharing you with us. And my biggest thanks for your dedication to United States Air Force. Amy, let's hit the most important piece first. Go see your doc, and if he wants to put you on blood pressure medication, get it done. That's the most important piece. Sorry, I got to bring that out. You have to make sure you take care of yourself as you're working on taking care of yourself. If that recommendation is from your doctor to be put on the medication, follow your doctor's lead on that for sure. I got to give you that before we get too far into it. Now, you're right. There is no right time to send it. Once you figure out your why, it's time to get it out there, time to put it in writing so that everybody knows and so that you know and get it done. I'm glad you listen every day. Have you listened to every single day? It's because you're focused, and that focus is what gets you to goal. I'm absolutely honored that as we continue to walk this journey together, that you found out what your why is. Your why is extremely powerful. That is what you have to tap into. And the story that you wrote in, I want you to read often. I want you to make sure that you understand it. Now, a lot of us, when we try and look for our why, your initial why of I just don't want to be overweight anymore. Well, that's not exactly why. Because before I joined my meeting room, I'd been overweight for a couple years before that, and it didn't cause me to join. There was a defining moment of being tired of being overweight that got me to the meeting room. You understand that. So let's talk about complacency. You're tracking. You were doing well for 10 weeks. You lost every week. Then you had 2 weeks in a row where you gained. And I think a lot of it tends into when you start feeling good about yourself and you start thinking about, all the amazing things you're accomplishing. It's very easy to then let your old habits kick back in. Setting your attendance goals is what's doing it. A balance between attendance and performance goals absolutely is key. I'm honored that you have a mixture because the mixture is actually critical. But in that mixture, you have to make sure that you take care of the attendance side first. You have to do that. Because if you continue to push a performance goal and that causes you to take so much time off that you forget that you used to do that, then we invite that complacency trap to come back in. You've hit your 5%. As you hit your 5%, that's proof to you that you can work this plan, that you can get it done. As you close your email out, you say that you will get there. When is when your scale catches up with your mind. That is goal. You've reached goal mentally, and when you've reached goal mentally, the scale will be the last one to know. But when the scale figures it out, that is an amazing day. So Amy, thank you for your email. Thank you for all that you've done. Continue to dig in. Your family will continue to celebrate together as you live a long and healthy, happy life because you decided to take control and get it done. Over on text message and through some private messaging, I found out today and through Connect that Elise is down 25 pounds, right? 25 pounds on the nose. What's amazing about that is as we chat kind of often, and as we chat, one of the things I recommend often is that, if as you're losing weight, I want you to shed anything that's even a half a size too big. Because you can always wear something that's a little bit too big. And through the conversation, she kind of let it slip that, I actually kind of hate shopping. And so therefore, I don't really kind of want to go shopping. So it kind of hesitant to throw the clothes away. Then as she's down 25 pounds, at 25 pounds is significant. You have to start buying new clothes at that point. So she goes to the store and she wrote in one of the most amazing texts that I've ever seen. And she said, "Oh my God, I actually love shopping now." It's amazing when you can pick anything off the rack and everything fits, shopping becomes fun, right? And so many of us do not like shopping because why don't we like shopping? Because, nothing fit. And we're buying things because it's the only thing the store has that fits. Well, that's not fun. But when you can walk into any store, pick anything off the rack, you put it on, it fits, shopping is a whole new experience. And absolutely, you enjoy that and you celebrate it. And one caution to you, and we talked about this, but one caution is just because it fits doesn't mean you need it. Elise, I'm super proud of you. More than you will ever know, I'm super proud of you. Continue to do the amazing work that you're doing. Thank you for your service to our country as well. It's an honor, my true honor, to be your wingman. Out of Citrus Heights, California, Sandy writes in, she says, "Today I became lifetime. I'm a lifetime member of Weight Watchers. How do I feel? Incredible. Fantastic. Extraordinarily happy. It's really difficult to explain. It's hard to believe that I've been at this for 60 years. My doctor gave me my first diet and vitamin B shots every week when I was about 11 or 12. In my 20s, I joined Weight Watchers when it was brand new, the first of many times. I'm 71 now, and I finally feel that I have succeeded at this weight loss game. When I step on the scale in the morning, as you do, I no longer think that it will say 202 or 195 or 187 or anything else, but it will be a number close to my current weight of 141. I finally believe that I have done it. I now have that gold key hanging around my neck with the gift that I gave myself at goal. There was a disc that says, she believed that she could, and she did. I know that at some point I will put that key on a key ring with all of my other Weight Watcher bling. Or you know what, maybe I won't. But for now, I'm keeping it close to my heart because I won. This time, I did not quit. Mike, I love your podcast. Thanks for all the things you're doing for us and for our country. And man, that Black Hawk helicopter ride must have been so thrilling. Sandy out of Citrus Heights. Sandy, welcome to Team Lifetime. There's plenty of room on Team Lifetime. Team Lifetime is one of those things, when we were in grade school, we started picking teams, right? At some point, we ran out of spots to put people. Team Lifetime is specifically designed to make sure that doesn't happen. If you're willing to join the team, we are giving sign-in bonuses every day, and we'll take anybody who wants to be on Team Lifetime. I don't care how long it takes. If you're working this for 60 years, we'll welcome you to Team Lifetime. Don't tell me you can't get it done. Here we are. Sandy, 60 years has been working this program, and she is done at 71 years old, rocking this program. And I can tell you right now, she is absolutely ecstatic. She's fantastic, extraordinarily happy, and it's absolutely really difficult to explain. It's so difficult to explain. That's why we want you to join us, because I can't tell you any more about how awesome it is to be at Lifetime. Can't even describe it. I can't tell you what it's like. All I can do is tell you that everybody who writes in, who's at goal, who's at Lifetime, every single person who writes in says the same thing. I can't explain it, but it's the most amazing feeling in the world. And we want you to get here because Sandy won. Sandy got it done. And she is on Team Lifetime and waiting for everyone else to join us. Sandy, congratulations. That's an amazing celebration. It's a complete honor to walk this journey with you. Well, what is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com. Click on Listen Now to send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. I really want you to email in those celebrations because I want you to be proud of what you're doing. I want you to share everything about your journey so that somebody out there listening says, well, if Sandy can get to Lifetime, at 71 years old, if Sandy can get to Lifetime, if Elise can lose 25 pounds, if my dad can lose 25 pounds, well, then maybe it's time for me to try. Maybe it's time for me to give it a shot. And maybe it's time to look at those who've done this and follow their lead. Because when we get to Lifetime and we change the world and we add those 14 years back to our life, it's an amazing gift that we give ourselves and we give our family. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus.